Hey everybody, this is John Melly, the voiceover and production guru, and I have a really cool short video that I want to show you. Last time I showed you a video about adding reverb to a voiceover track to help overcome masking with music as a voiceover bed. And so what we're going to do is go into that a little bit more. Some folks had some questions about that. So what I wanted to do is show you by using simple waveforms. This is a 1000 hertz tone. This is called a pure tone. Some would say this is a sine wave. Like I said last time, I'm not proud of it, but I flunked my last quarter of geometry in high school. I'm not proud of this, but I do share it with you just to let you know I'm not an engineer. I'm not a math whiz by any stretch of the imagination. But this is pretty cool, and I think it'll help illustrate the point about masking and explain a little better what's going on there. So what the issue was that frequencies in our voiceover track can get masked by frequencies in a music bed that we choose to put under our voiceover track. So what we're going to do is show you how masking can occur, very basically, using these simple tones. And like I said, I have a 1000 hertz tone here, and what we're going to do is work with one cycle, one wavelength of the tone. And so a wavelength is this distance here approximately. So it starts, it peaks, it crosses back over, it troughs, and it comes back up again. So this is one wavelength, one cycle. And so what we're going to do is we're going to line up a copy of this. We're going to pretend that one of them is the voiceover track and another one is a music track. And what we're going to do is line up a copy of this 1000 hertz tone at different points along the wavelength. And we're going to put one here at a quarter of the way, we're going to put one here at half the way, we're going to put one here at 3/4 of the way, etc. And so what we're going to do is watch the levels and see how when we add the second waveform on top of the first waveform, how it sounds. And then we're going to see how that sound changes as we move from one part of the waveform to the next, as we line it up at different points along the waveform. Does that make sense? Let's flip over to this other side and take a quick look at what we're saying here. So I've got, let's say this is the voiceover bed and this is the music bed down here. Let's zoom in really quickly. So you can see that this is the wave, the frequency, the cycle, the wavelength that I was working with before. And so you can see that instead of it lining up exactly, like right here on the center line where it starts, I've got it up here at the peak. So what we want to do is we've shifted it over basically 1/4 of the wavelength. Let's see or hear how that sounds. And I got to give you a running start here. Heads up. These are tones. These can be kind of loud, so you may want to watch your volume level because it could blast you. So make sure that you've got the volume turned down before I hit play here. What we want to do is watch the wave, the level down here in the lower right-hand part of the screen here. And I've tested this out. It's going to the initial tone is going to come in right around this -6 point here. Let's watch. Yeah, okay, so it's right there. Now let's listen to what happens when it joins up with this other waveform. Does it get louder? Does it get softer? Is it twice as loud? Let's listen. Okay, you can see it got a little louder. Let's watch the levels again. All right, so now let's jump to this. Let's see, we've shifted this over by about, let's see, where would this be? If we've got it, this would be 1/4, 1/2, 3/4 of the way. So I've got this lined up 3/4 of the way. So it's, instead of being here at 0, it is 0 here, but it's down at its lowest point here. We've shifted it over 3/4 of a wavelength. If we were perfectly lined up, we would have it right here. All right, let's see what that sounds like. Let's give this a running start like we've done the other one. Again, watch the levels down here in the lower right-hand corner. That was a little louder. The first one was down around the -3. And when we finished with this one, it was a little over the -3. So it's a little louder. That's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at marker number 9 here and zoom all the way in. These waveforms, these cycles are so small. There's so many of them happening. There's 1,000 of them per second. So we've got them lined up perfectly. Does that mean it's going to be twice as loud? So see, start 0 and 0, and the highest point is in line with the highest point, and the lowest point is in line with the lowest point. What's going to happen? Let's keep our eye on the levels down here. Let's give it a running start and watch what happens. Yeah, it got quite a bit louder. It wasn't down the -3 area. It went all the way up to 0. It went up about 6 dB. Let's watch that again. So this gives you an idea of how you can layer sounds, and sounds on top of sounds can make them louder. It can affect the volume of what you've got going on here. But this is the coolest part. Everything that we've been doing up till now is leading up to this moment. And this is what happens with masking on a very simple level. Let's go to marker 10. Let's zoom all the way in. Now, I've got them traveling in opposite directions. So, like I said, I'm no math whiz, but remember algebra, and 1 plus a -1 equals 0, and 2 plus a -2 equals 0? Well, we've got a 1 here, and we've got a -1 here. We've got a +2 and a -2 here. So everything equals 0. What do you think's going to happen? Well, let's give this a running start. Give it a good long one. And then what I'm also going to do is give you a little bit of a trail off here. So after we're finished, we're going to play, let's say, the music bed here for simple terms, and then the voiceover is going to come in, and then the music's going to end here, and the voiceover is going to continue on there. Again, they're the same tone, but you get what I'm talking about. So let's see what happens. Again, watch the levels on the bottom part of your screen here. Let's give it a good running start. Whoa. I may be a geek, but I think that's cool. We have two sounds, and if we line them up just so, we can get them to almost knock each other out. That's masking. Something still comes through, but they affect each other. Not effect each other, they affect each other. Let's play that again. I think that's the coolest. So anyway, I just thought I'd play that for you. I think it's really cool. Call me a geek, whatever. If you'd like to learn more, drop me a line at john@johnmelly.com. I'm always welcome. I always welcome your feedback. I really enjoy putting these together for you, and I will be in touch with you soon with another cool video. Take care.